Yolan True and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and today we have to deal with another new ship, the Gorn Eviscerator. But before I go into the details of our newest ship in the game, I just want to say, if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet but do like my videos, then please do subscribe to my channel, and when you do, also click this little bell and all notifications so you will be notified when another video comes out. But now let's look at the next, for me as a content creator, expensive thing. Don't worry, I will talk about it, how to get it for free in this game later. The Gorn Eviscerator, it's quite a hard word for a non-native speaker by the way, is an epic 4-star ship, and it's available for all players Ops 40 and upwards. And it's a very interesting one. The good thing is, I said that in my preview video already, that they didn't bring a complete new loop with it, only changed a little bit around of an existing loop, but we get to the loop later. So it's not bringing a huge amount of more work. It does bring more work, but not a huge amount, and it brings some nice abilities with it. But first of all, in general, it's an interceptor. That means, according to the combat triangle, you might have seen my video on that, that it's strong against battleship and weak against explorers. You might want to keep that in mind when hunting Gorn hostiles. But the really interesting part are its abilities, and I will demonstrate those abilities, of course. The first ones are Hunt the Hunters, which means it increases isolytic damage against Gorn hunters by 200%. And Scopely said in its announcement that this helps much more than any crew or artifact that you can have against those. But the bad news is the warp range. The warp range of the Gorn Eviscerator is not that great, and so I can only hunt with this tier 1 thing now, because I couldn't upgrade, because I need the refinery that comes with it to show. Only brings me to level 43 Gorn, and I couldn't kill higher with a tier 1 Gorn Eviscerator anyway. But with my normal combat ship I can go to the level 50 ones, or in general, if I just want to grind, go to the level 49 ones. This I can only get to level 43 ones just because of the warp range. But it does have a rigorous extraction as well, which increases the amount of apex isometer gained when defeating Gorn hunters by 5000%. So apex isometer, which is new in your isometer refinery, is very easily collected with this Gorn Eviscerator. That's absolutely true. The bad thing is, for the volatile isometer that we already had in the game, I still have to use my normal ship with a loot crew, because that goes much faster, because I can go to a higher level. I can go there with a loot crew, and that goes much faster than with the Gorn Eviscerator at this tier at least. So for the moment I have to do that twice. That's why I said it's a little bit more of work. But something that's really interesting, and don't worry, I will demonstrate that later, is the third ability, and that is the spatial rip. Because in a system where the Gorn ship is, you can open a spatial rip in that system, and all ships that you have and all your alliance members can travel through this to the system where your Gorn ship is, and bring their ships there. That is really interesting, and we tried that yesterday. And once you use that to get to that system, you get there instantly, as if you're flying with a Discovery, and then you also can recall it instantly, so you don't need any flight times. What I couldn't figure out yet was how does the level limit the number of ships that can travel through, and so on. I haven't found that yet, and it doesn't show you anything. It doesn't show you any time duration. It doesn't show you how many ships when I click on my ship or the system. So you can only see if it's still available if you click on the system, but we will do that in a second. At the moment, you only can get the Gorn Eviscerator immediately by buying it in the shop. Here in the EU, it's 99 €99. And in the announcement, Scopely said there will be a weekly event where you can collect blueprints for the Eviscerator. But in the announcements I've seen so far, there was no day, there was no name of the event, so you will just have to look out. I don't know how many blueprints that will give, but I wanted to make this video immediately so you can see how this works. And we go to the Gorn systems here, the ones I can reach. Heloderma is the highest one I can reach with the Gorn Eviscerator because of the warp range. But I want to show you a few of those abilities here. If you click on the system and then click set course, you can choose, like with the discovery, if you want to set a course or if you want to jump there. And to jump, you need those axion plasma, and this is used for the jumps of the Gorn Eviscerator and for opening the spatial rib. And so I made some tests yesterday, that's why I'm already a bit lower. But you should get these through the daily gifts as well. And you see, I'm just jumping into that system. Now that I'm in the system, I can use this spatial rib ability. You see that where usually with the Mantis there's the venom ability and so on, or the cloak or whatever with other ships, and there you see the button for the spatial ribs. If I click that, I can open a spatial rib in the system where I am now. So in this Gorn system, in this level 40 Gorn system, it costs 5,000 of these, I always forget the name, axion plasma, to open this rib. And of course, I will do that now to show this. And now you have to watch out. Yesterday when I did the tests, I didn't see anything in the system or whatever. The only thing you can see, if I just click any other of my ships and then click that system, you see on the right to set course, you see the same symbol for the spatial rib. And there is the counter. I always looked on my ship yesterday, but the counter is on the top right there. I didn't see that yesterday. Finally, I found it. Sometimes it's good doing videos. But if I click this button with a different ship, I can jump there. I also have to pay for that instant jump. And then my ship is there within seconds as well. So you see my Vorcher is now also in the system within seconds. Would be nice to see some spatial rib here in the system. Something visible, but around my ship is nothing. So, but there we, at least on the system, we saw the timer. And I can do this with more ships. If I click on the next ship, I can do that as well. And your alliance members can do the same. When your alliance members click on that system now, they will jump there immediately too, if they can pay those axion plasma to get to that ship. And then they will be there instantly as well. So if you bring a Gorn ship to a situation where someone is attacking a base of one of your alliance members or so, you can immediately get more alliance members there by opening a spatial rib. So this ability is quite fun, and it's quite nice to use that. But that's just the fun ability. What you still have to do is to hunt Gorn, and we just let the spatial rib run out now. But I still have to hunt Gorn, and here now we have the volatile isometer we always had, and we also have this apex isometer that is new because there's a new refinery. I will quickly go over the refinery in a bit. as well, but not in detail. There's so much that I will do a separate video on the Refinery, but I will give you a quick overview. But here you now get 2 different loots, and the point is, when you attack with a Gorn Eviscerator, you have the loot bonus for the apex isometer. You see there was much less, there was only half of that announced in the loot preview, and here I got much more than volatile isometer. So apex isometer is really easily be collected with the Gorn Eviscerator. But as you can see, the volatile isometer is a different topic. So that's what I meant with the loop. For hunting the isometer, I really have to use 2 different ships. I send the Gorn ship first to collect the apex isometer, and then again I go out with my strongest warship with the loot crew to collect the volatile isometer, because that takes ages, at least with a very new Gorn Eviscerator. And then, as usual, you go to the Refinery and exchange it. And there are some new things. If you don't have the Gorn Eviscerator, what you will see is the Gorn Eviscerator, the Eviscerator Refinery, and your normal isometer refineries here. That's what you will see in your refinery when you are without the Gorn ship, because as you've seen, the hostiles have apex isometer, so you can collect apex isometer. You just can't spend some of the rewards here. And the Eviscerator Refinery is there because you already can exchange your apex isometer that you already collect even without the ship, and can exchange into these rewards, the recruit ships, the apex ship parts, eviscerator parts, and the cephalocask artifact. But you cannot exchange the apex recruit tokens yet without having the ship. But I'm not going, as I said, into details of the Refinery, because there's a lot in here and there's a lot to talk about. And I don't want to make this video extremely lengthy, so I will make a separate video this week on the Refinery. And when you have this, because when you have the ship, you see many more parts in the new updated Refinery than if you don't have the ship. And so we will go through it step by step in the Refinery video. And when you got your parts from there, that's when you can upgrade your Gorn Eviscerator, which is quite expensive from the start. And with the Gorn Eviscerator parts that you get from the Refinery, and you can do some research. And that I quickly wanted to show, because it's not that much. I'm not going to do a separate video on these because it's not a big amount at the moment. But it's also part of it. If you go to Starship Research, and scroll completely to the end, just after the Monovine, there's 3 sets of research for me. That's volatile optimization. That increases the volatile isometer gained with the Gorn Eviscerator, and that's has a R&D level restriction. But I really need that to get more volatile isometer, because that's not that much. But you also need the Gorn Eviscerator parts for it, so you have to decide research, upgrading. That will be a tough one. Then you have a volatile augmentation, which increases the volatile isometer gained with the Gorn Eviscerator again, but this time it's restricted with the Gorn Eviscerator tier, so you can optimize that. So in the end, you probably will be as good with the volatile isometer as it is with the apex isometer. And the third one is because of the bad warp range, is a very nice one, because it increases the warp range of the Gorn Eviscerator, and that's an absolutely necessary research here. There's just one more thing I have to show you. if the game is playing along, because it was before the update that it was crashing a lot, but it seems that the update didn't help on that part, and so I have to make several part videos again. And it always happens close to the end of the video, but there are still two things I wanted to show you. First of all, we quickly have to go to the gift section, to the ship resources, and here on the left you see there you get Axion Plasma daily, just like with the Titanite and everything else for other ships, but the maximum you can have is 30,000. If you have 30,000 or more, you don't get the daily amount. But you get 100 Eviscerator parts if you have a full amount already. This was just the one information I still wanted to give you. And the other one is that I still have to show you, I mentioned it, but if a ship jumped to a system with the help of the spatial rip, no matter if the spatial rip has timed out or not, that ship can go back home instantly. And you see on the bottom left there's Insta Recall. And with that, you can get the ship home immediately if you have used the spatial rip to get to the position. And that goes for every ship that comes there via the spatial rip. So it's home immediately, as you can see. And that is another addition to the spatial rip ability. That was a little overview of the new Gorn ship. I'm really interested in your opinion here. I will talk about the event that gives you the Gorn Eviscerator blueprints as soon as I see it. Then I'll make a video on that. But so far, all the information I have is what you could read from Scopely as well, and that wasn't very much on that one. But definitely for those who already bought that, I really want to know your opinion on what you think about your Gorn Eviscerator, and everybody else, of course. Let me know what you think about the ship after seeing that video. And if you have questions in general or video requests, you know that I regularly read your comments. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.